Peak, der Innovationstalk von Ekipa. Peak ist ein tiefgehender Austausch auf Augenhöhe, in dem wir Wissen und Impulse mit auf den Weg geben wollen. Wir sprechen mit unserem Netzwerk über Innovation, digitale Transformation und das Potenzial der jungen digitalen Generation.
In der heutigen Folge von Peak spreche ich mit Andrés Martínez Cristancho. Carlos ist Head of Crowdsourcing and Digital Innovation bei Evonik und arbeitet genau an der Schnittstelle zwischen dem Kerngeschäft, nämlich der Chemie bei Evonik, als auch den Open Innovation und den externen Innovationsaktivitäten von Evonik. Carlos hat sowohl einen Background in der Chemie als auch einen Master in Business Administration und kennt somit beide Seiten. Und mit Carlos haben wir über die unterschiedlichsten Crowdsourcing- und Innovationsaktivitäten sowie verschiedene Methodiken und Ansätze von Evonik im Bereich Innovation gesprochen. Viel Spaß beim Reinhören. Carlos, welcome to our Innovation Talk Peak.
Thank you very much. I'm very glad of being here.
Yeah, me too. How would you describe innovation with 3 words?
For me, innovation with 3 words will be probably people, passion, and creativity.
Cool. Which everyday problem would you like to solve with an innovative technology?
I think I will love to solve the climate change problem.
The climate change? Okay. And what have you recently posted on social media?
I think I reposted the ekipa post
Oh, really?
on LinkedIn.
Regarding our today's talk.
Exactly.
That's great. What would you prefer, working or studying?
I like both, but according to my CV, I think I prefer studying.
Regarding crowdsourcing, what would you prefer, internal or external input?
This is a difficult one. Sometimes I prefer internal. If you cannot take the topic out of the company, you have to do it internally. But sometimes if you don't have the required expertise for some topics, I prefer externally.
All right. And the last question, the right environment or the right mindset? Mindset, all right. Thanks for answering our first 6 peaky questions. In a previous interview, you mentioned that your job at Evonik is to create the perfect environment for the creation, growth, and development of ideas. As your current job title of Head of Crowdsourcing and Digital Innovation, how do you create this environment?
We use different initiatives, so different methods. One of them, or probably the most important one, is the Global Ideation Jam, which is a corporate entrepreneurship program that we make once per year. It's an open innovation contest for the whole company, for all the employees, and the idea is to get a lot of input or ideas from the employees regarding a specific topic. We have used in the last editions always like the future of mobility, nutrition, and resource efficiency, for example. And what we realize is we get a lot of ideas from our employees. With this, we want to create a completely open innovation culture and try also to focus on the identification of special talents or special individuals with some entrepreneurial spirit.
But that's just inside your company, right?
So you're running this global... This is internal initiative,
right.
yeah.
I see. Cool. Maybe we will talk about this one a little more detailed later on. A couple of years ago, you decided to add a further Master of Business Administration to your CV. How did you come to that decision? How did you decide that you want to add something more and that you want to learn something more regarding the business context?
I realized I wanted to learn something new. And I also had many options, or let's say I realized business is probably something I wanted to explore more deeply. And as an engineer, you are very good understanding technical things and so on. And then I checked the programs, and I found the program here from the Frankfurt School. And I decided to pursue this program to get a better insight about what is business about finance, about leadership, about managing in different contexts, the cross-cultural experience of management, and so on. And it was I think it was a right decision. I really learned a lot of new people. I think it complements perfect the job I am doing now. And I changed to my current job as a head of crowdsourcing and digital innovation in between. I mean, when I was just in the middle of the program of the Master of Business Administration, and I realized it helped me a lot because it opened also a completely new perspective about business, about the way you look at the chemicals, not only as molecules, but molecules that bring a benefit afterwards. And we have now a new motto, which is called Evonik, leading beyond chemistry. And I think it's not only about doing business with chemistry, doing business with chemicals, creating new molecules, but creating solutions, complete solutions, and really helping our customers understand even better also their business.
I see. So your current job is a lot about connecting, a lot about networking, right? Let's maybe do a little deep dive there regarding your current job, regarding your current task as well. And maybe you can take us with you on your, let's say, job journey. What are your main tasks? How do you approach your current job role? What are your main priorities regarding what you're doing at Evonik?
I will try to use an example, and it's something that is related to us, the cooperation we had with Ekipa. Our role is really to discuss about science and how science and technology and how to get advantage of internal know-how and external know-how. Our job is, for example, trying to understand where the needs from a scientific perspective, like the specific challenge we solve together or you help us solve. At the time was a problem and one of the operative business regarding a raw material. They could get the raw material, but they realized probably they don't need the raw material in the specifications they are using it, but they need probably less purity and a different grade. Then we start the conversation, we start these discussions, and then we have some tools, and then we go through the tools. Probably this tool is available, could be useful, but I think we now need to go outside, and that's why we choose to use the Evonik call for research proposals, because it's probably the fastest and the most effective way to find the solutions for this problem. And that's why we start the conversation before. I mean, probably at the same time we were discussing how Ekipa can help us, and it was at the right time, at the right place. There was a fit. The internal operative business were looking for an external crowd, and you offer somehow this external crowd and also the platform and also the possibility to do the marketing of the challenge and so on. And we are bridging these gaps all the time. This is just one example, but my daily business is something like that, but trying to find the fit and try to bridge these gaps between to help solve scientific problems or sometimes marketing problems, and find the right partner who can do that in a most effective way.
Sounds like a great and really exciting job, isn't it?
I love it.
You already mentioned the term crowdsourcing, and that's what I wanted to talk with you about today. Crowdsourcing, how did you describe it in maybe a couple of sentences? What is crowdsourcing for you?
For me, crowdsourcing is looking for the right partner to solve a specific problem, and you can get to different crowds. And this is the trick is how to get the right crowd to solve a specific problem. You know that
exactly, absolutely. That's just our daily business. I mean, you need different crowds for different problems, different topics, different challenges, as you mentioned it before. But yeah, that sounds really interesting, because when we take a look at this industry-university collaboration thing, it's for me personally always interesting who makes the first step. I know that there are a couple of companies out there who are trying to collaborate furthermore with universities, but that also universities, as the statistics here mentioned, are really interested in working more with companies, with the industry. So how do you experience this one? Are there more universities approaching you as a company? Hey, we would like to collaborate with you together. We would like to do some research projects with you. Or is it something that you approach and where you as a company make the first step?
I mean, it's in both ways. I mean, I can give you examples for both categories, but most of the time what happened is really Evonik and many large companies which are technology driven, they really hire talent from different universities. This really focus on diversity also from the university perspective. Why is that? The reason why the companies do that is to try to have really a broad pool of talent. And for example, if at some point you realize you have a challenge, you are struggling with something, then one of these people who you probably recently hired from University X would say, oh, actually at my university there is a professor working on this topic. Sometimes it started just easy like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I know him, I work with him, it's exactly the topic I was working during my master thesis, during my PhD, during my bachelor thesis. There are a lot of experience already at this university. This could be the first step. But sometimes the universities are just contact us, and we have also channels or some platforms to get this. We have a very we use a lot of public funding also for working with universities or other companies. There is, for example, the Innovation Agency, which belongs also to our department, Innovation Networks, and they work hand in hand with the operative business to look also for the right universities, technical universities, research institutes, or even other companies all over Europe to apply for public funds. This is a very specific aspect of looking specifically for research on institutes.
I see.
From the other point or another option is we conduct already some cooperations, either very specific with a chair of a university, with some people at research institutes here or in US or in Singapore, Japan, and so on. And every 2 years there is a meeting called Evonik Meet Science.
Okay.
In this meeting we invite the professors and also the innovation managers of Evonik, and we invite these people to one place in Germany or even abroad to discuss specific research topics.
Okay.
And then this is about discussing science, discussing technology again. But we bring these people together for 2 days. Professors give also some talks about the research topics they consider could be more interesting for Evonik, or research topics they are working together with Evonik. And this is an extremely good platform for exchanging know-how.
Seems like you're already doing a lot for collaborating together with universities.
We are doing our best.
That sounds like a great approach. But would you assume that this industry-university collaboration is a crucial factor for becoming an innovative company in the future?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely convinced. Without open innovation, I think it's not possible to maintain or to keep technology leadership in any industry.
All right. Then let's do a deep dive into your open innovation or crowdsourcing framework. We have a couple of topics here that I want to have a closer look at. Let's start with a basic framework. What would you say, which framework conditions within a company must be in place for successful crowdsourcing projects?
I mean, you need curious people, and you need interesting topics or current topics, or topics focused on trends of the society. This is what Evonik is trying to do, for example, via the innovation growth fields or the innovation growth engines. It's about saying, okay, sustainable nutrition. Why sustainable nutrition? Because, for example, population is growing, the people are living more into cities, and they want to have a very, they have to live also healthy, and it's about well-being, and nutrition is becoming important. A very, very important topic. This is, for example, one of the innovation growth fields. From the other side is additive manufacturing, is focusing into this trend, 3D printing, and how can you support, for example, highly dynamic markets on things, on medical implants that could be, for example, printed, right, 3D printed, and another. I don't know, probably medicines in the future could be also 3D printed, even food. This is an example of two innovation growth fields that Evonik focus on.
When we take a closer look at this innovation culture thing, I think what also may occur are some prejudices. Maybe people who are working like for 30 or 40 years for a company who experienced, I don't know, a lot of projects, a lot of things that went on in the past at the company, but who are now maybe not that open-minded for new innovations, for new ideas, especially from maybe younger people who don't have that much experience. Did you also realize some of these prejudices? And if so, or if not, how can you tackle them?
I think there is still some prejudices there. You realize definitely young people are more open to these kind of challenges. I think alone because they are more, they feel more comfortable using digital technologies, online platforms. They have grown with the internet. For let's say our older colleagues, they struggle a bit, but they. To be honest, they are not afraid of about asking questions about how to use this better. Can you probably help me, show me some tricks, or how can I use this platform better? Some colleagues are also asking us or other colleagues, how can I use LinkedIn better? And you realize, for example, the people at our company are also using now LinkedIn for business, like trying to show how our technologies work, how our molecules work, what kind of projects are we involved, and you get a very nice replies from the public, even from competitors or from the students. Okay, this company is doing this. They're also learning, and they're learning very fast. To be honest, I think even if there are some prejudices, then the people at our company at Evonik are very very open. And they really want to learn and want to start, and also the younger colleagues wants to learn more about the chemistry and get more involved in this kind of topics.
Are there any incentives that you're offering such colleagues who are willing to learn more, willing to be more open-minded regarding external innovation?
No, to be honest, we don't have any incentive, but they realize. What we realize, for example, is that the people who have made challenge with us want to do more challenges or external open innovation challenges with us. When I'm showing, for example, our example, our use case. I want to do this also. You realize if you have a very convincing use case, you can use this also to sell the project or this initiative further.
So your incentive would be success stories that you can tell them,
exactly,
and then bringing them to running, for example, an innovation challenge for their own.
Exactly, and also be open and transparent. Is not always one size fits all solution. You really need to adapt, and then what we try is to approach internal stakeholders and also external stakeholders with a flexible approach, with an open approach. Like okay, we need this. We have probably some troubles here. Then we need your help more on this part of the challenge, on this part of the process. For example, we work together, and then you give us your good practices. It was amazing to see how you structured your projects. We learn also from you, and I respect you learn also from us.
Yeah, absolutely, we did.
And this is, I think, an open and an honest approach to use success stories, but also telling them, okay, we realize we did some mistakes here, we make some mistakes here, we made some mistakes there, we learn from them, then probably we can do this time better with you, and try to adapt fast to the needs.
Yeah. So maybe for a little recap or summarize regarding a successful open innovation framework, you of course need to have the right people, you need to establish the right culture, you need open-minded people on the one hand inside your company, but also outside of your company. You need good stakeholders, for example, the best universities or the best fitting universities or research institutes, and then you have a perfect framework for running successful open innovation projects in the end.
Agree. Yeah, I agree completely. It's a very good summary.
Great. Then let's take a closer look at the methodology for successful crowdsourcing or open innovation projects. How do you proceed there? How do you, first of all, identify the right topics for an open innovation project? Because as I know from my personal experience, not every topic or not every problem or question or challenge that a company has fits perfectly to an open innovation project. Absolutely.
I mean, you really have to I think you have, for example, I remember you sent us a very good questionnaire, a very good checklist for really thinking from another perspective or from a different perspective about this problem we need to solve. Then we went through this questionnaire, to this checklist, and we realized, can we tell them? Can we tell the public about this, or can we just put it, for example, into some tracks? I think from you we learned that there are many possibilities to explain or to describe a scientific challenge. Like we were too focused on one aspect of the scientific challenge, and we realized, working together with you, that it is possible to break down even more the challenge and to help the solvers or the potential solvers to realize, okay, probably I can address this track number one, or which is, for example, identify a supplier, and then I will focus in finding a supplier for them who is able to provide this raw material. The other focus is, okay, probably there are some toll manufacturers, then it was a track for these toll manufacturers where they can think, okay, they need this, and this. Probably I have the capabilities at my plant to do this. Or we were looking for substitutes or analog molecules, and we address this in the other two tracks. Like we extend or we expand somehow the crowd just by describing just by breaking down the problem into different options. This was an amazing learning, for example, for us.
I see that you have really a clear structure, a clear methodology on how to find the perfect format, on how to identify the right topics, the right problems, and on how to run successful open innovation projects, of course. Another topic I'd like to discuss with you is the stakeholders, the external stakeholders, especially for successful crowdsourcing projects. As you know, we are most of the time focusing on students, on young researchers, and on startups as well. Regarding those target groups, students and researchers, do you see any criteria they need to bring that they can be a perfect fit for collaborating with you as a company?
No, I don't think so. We don't have a precise criteria. And the reason is we really want to identify talent. We really want to identify partners for external corporations. It was very interesting for us to do the challenge with you, the Bensoc in Innovative Power challenge. As you know, one of the winners was a very young researcher, a very young student. And we discussed many times with him. And it was like clear for me, okay, this young is a very talented young student. In his very early career, he won the challenge, or he was one of the winners. From the other side, we identify also another winner was a very experienced chemist in the US. We are happy, we are very glad we find him. And the other winner was also a group of postdocs from the UK, and they were so creative, so engaged, so committed. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. And this gives you like a completely the whole perspective. You know, we had among the winners a 70-year-old guy, an 18-year-old guy, and a bunch of 30 plus postdocs.
That was great.
It was amazing. It was from the diversity perspective is amazing. And from the age perspective and age diversity was an incredible experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Seems like you know what you're talking about regarding open innovation and crowdsourcing. Seems like you and Evonik as well have a lot of experience regarding such projects. And it's been a pleasure working with you in our joint Open Innovation Challenge. As you know, we announced before that we are going to do this peak talk together. And there were some people out of our community who wanted to ask you some questions, and we selected a few of them. I will maybe just read them to you, maybe have some answers for them. What would you assume, what does the university of the future look like?
Wow.
That's a big one.
On COVID times, it's a very tough question, but I think it will be more digital, it will be more personalized, more customized, more collaborative also. like a probably more teamwork, more focused, that the people work in groups, in order that the people not only sit in front of the computer. I really see the education of the future really more digital, more collaborative, more interactive, and more customized.
I totally agree on that one. The next question would be, how is the public image of chemistry, especially in labs, and science in general, changing?
I think we have a very good image and a very good reputation. I think we can improve. We have a lot of work to do still on many topics. For example, trying to shift to more or to cleaner energies for our sites or for our buildings also. We think we have to become more sustainable, but not we as a company become more sustainable, but to offer with our molecules, with our chemical products, with our specialty chemical products, the possibility to recycle more, or even to shift to bio-based polymers or molecules, in order that then probably you have a better degradability. I think we have the tools, the know-how, the technology to do this, but I think it's a long way still, and we are working on this. We are running now internally a circular economy of plastics program, where we are addressing really the topic of recycling of plastics. How can Evonik contribute even more for the recycling of polymers and plastics in general?
All right. The next question. What leadership methods do young people with fresh ideas need today?
I think to be a leader, people has to focus, and they want to be a leader. I think being a leader is not an easy task. You have to learn how to be more empathetic, to show sympathy for people, and to work comfortable with other people, trying to get along with other people very well, and also to understand the differences among the people, among their origins, where they come from, their backgrounds. I mean, it's not the same to talk to a chemist, to talk to an economic guy. It's not the same trying to pitch your idea to the finance guy and to the chemist at the lab. It requires a lot of communication skills, a lot of motivation and passion to get a better understanding of your audience, of the people you are talking to. I think this is the daily job of a leader. Yeah,
it is. Last question from our community. That's a tricky one, actually. Is it still up to date that upcoming researchers are evaluated by how well they can teach undergraduates?
I mean, it's not completely true, and I think, like I said, for example, what I learned when I was a PhD student, now coming back a bit through my experience, is to communicate better. As a PhD student and also as a master's student, and now it's more popular, you have to present a lot, you have to write a lot of reports, a lot of abstracts, papers, going to conference, present, pitch your ideas. You have to choose which results are better, suit better the audience you will meet there, and so on. I think the most important skills nowadays are really the communication skills. How you can talk to people, how can you address some topics to a Chinese guy, and to the American guy sitting next to him, and to the German colleague sitting next to you, you being a South American guy. I mean, it's about getting everyone into the same boat, and for this you really need to practice. You really need to make mistakes, to try to don't be shy, and try to communicate openly what you want from them, or try to and also be a good listener, and try to understand what they want from you, or in order that the project moves forward. This is the most important thing.
Seems like you have a lot of experience in communication skills, so
I hope.
Thanks a lot for answering this last question coming from our community. Coming to the end of our talk, as we do it in each Peak talk in the end, I would like to do a little, to have a short look into the future with some questions in the end. My first question would be, what further collaboration models do you see between universities and industries besides the ones that are already present today?
I think this is a more tricky one. I think it will be nice to have a solution for the bureaucratic stuff behind the cooperation. Behind every collaboration, there is an enormous amount of job by writing NDAs or non-disclosure agreements, topic, right? Confidentiality agreements. Yeah. There is a lot of email and the new communication channels and have accelerated this topic, but still there is the bureaucracy is still there and takes a lot of time. I think it will be nice to have either some technologies that makes this easier to deal or to negotiate this kind of agreements in order to accelerate what is actually important, which is the progress on the projects, the progress on the scientific challenge, the progress on the real topic of the collaboration or the real topic of the cooperation, that the scientists can probably start faster going to the lab or going to the sites or doing the analytics or doing the research.
Okay, coming to my last three and really short questions. First one would be, what is your goal for the year 2021?
To get more exciting collaborations with external partners.
This would be great, maybe with us as well. Next Definitely. One is, which technology will change the world the most in the upcoming years?
I think artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence will have an enormous influence in many industries. I mean, we are realizing this. For example, artificial intelligence can also help us accelerate our research activities, using, for example, our historical data about reactions, synthesis, and so on. There are many interesting startups and companies out there doing a great job how to use all this knowledge, all this existing knowledge for creating new molecules or modify the existing ones. I think artificial intelligence will definitely play a significant role in the next years.
And the last one, what's your advice for the digital generation?
My only advice will be probably real networks or real platforms are still there. Use it. I know you are very good using digital platforms, but try to get out of the building and enjoy that. Talking to your friends and colleagues and parents. Personally, also try not to spend too much time in front of a computer. Go outside, do some sport. I think this will be my advice to the younger generation.
Thanks a lot. So we came to an end. Thanks a lot for this great talk. I think we gained a lot of great insights regarding your open innovation strategy at Evonik, but also your personal view on open innovation and crowdsourcing. It's been a great pleasure to me. So thanks for being here. Thanks for talking to me, and looking forward to our next talk.
Thank you very much, Justin. It was a pleasure also for me, and I am just amazed. I just want to see the result at the end. I hope you like it too.
Thank you.
Lust auf mehr Infos zum Talk, hilfreiche Links oder mehr zum heutigen Gast findet ihr auf ekipa.de/peak oder auf unseren Social-Media-Kanälen. Den Link dazu findet ihr in der Beschreibung. Bis zum nächsten Mal bei Peak.